Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to our live of the week. My name is Chetha. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Una's daughter. I am 17 and the head of the EntreMD merch division, which is entremd.com/merch. And there's a QR code on the side of the screen. So if you want, you can also scan that. But today, my purpose is to interview a really amazing doctor who's inside of the business school. And I think honestly, she's like one of my favorite type of doctors, and we're gonna get into that, and I'm gonna explain why later on. But Dr. Funke, hello. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, Chad. How are you? Oh my
Um,
gosh, you're such a rock star. I don't even know
oh,
where to start.
thank
Super
you.
thrilled to be here. Just
Yes.
amazed by just all the incredible things you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm so glad to
Mm.
have you on here too. So we'll go ahead and with the introduction so you can explain, who you are, name, what you do, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone. I am Dr. Funke Afolabi Brown. I am a mom, a sleep medicine physician, and I really have quite a number of things that I do. People say I wear multiple hats, but everything is all linked. And that's really to achieve one focus, which is to help you optimize your sleep so that you can thrive and reach your fullest potential. And I do this through my speaking business, I do this through my practice, which is the Restful Sleep Place, and also through coaching and consulting. So, yeah, and I'm super thrilled to be here.
Okay, so you mentioned it right there. My favorite type of doctor, sleep doctor. I love sleep. So I hear sleep doctor and I'm like, oh, this is going to be absolutely amazing. Okay, so could you share your story with us? What is your business? Why did you start it? What does it stand for? I know you explained a little bit about it, but let's
Mm.
go deeper into it.
Yeah, no, how do I explain my business? Well, it started off as kind of like a proof of concept. So I was I guess what you would call a traditional sleep doctor. I had a job and, saw patients and I was super thrilled about that. And I kind of started to get the itch. And for those who have had the itch, they know exactly what I'm talking about, which is this it? Right? Because you feel like, okay, when I get all the degrees and all the certifications and I get the job and all of that, then I'll be okay. But you realize, oh my goodness, there's so much more to me. And so that really evolved into me starting on this journey of self discovery. What is that more about? Right. So for
Mhm.
me, started off with, okay, well, I do love encouraging and empowering people. So how about we start with what we have? And so I started really talking about basic things around sleep because a lot of people are struggling with sleep. And this is something that unifies every single individual on the planet. And it's sleep, and we're not doing it right. We're eating right to the best of our abilities. We're exercising, but sleep is just not a thing people were doing right. So what was sort of like, okay, let's just talk about it became a thing of people now reaching out to me to say, hey, you talked about this. I think I'm having some issues. And so my speaking more evolved into coaching and consulting. And then from there, I started to realize it was really hard to be hired and within a hospital system and really give expression to all these multiple versions of myself within the business I was building. So I started on my own practice. So that was super exciting. And so this sort of completes the loop where I'm out there giving information about how you can optimize your sleep and what to look out for when you have sleep issues. But then to be able to say, oh, by the way, if you need more help, I'm here to help you. And so this really gives me that kind of full circle experience in terms of the work that I do.
Okay, that's good. That's amazing. Okay, and then so what has because I know you mentioned that you started your own practice. So what has
Mm.
becoming an entrepreneur made possible for you?
It's really made me, sounds cliche now because we say it all the time, as Dr. Ona says, right? To live my life on my terms, right? So it's the summer, so things are a little bit lighter, but I want to go pick my kids up from camp. I want to drop them off. I want to take some time and meet up with a friend in the middle of the day. And it's interesting enough. I think those are the things that are really priority for me. And I think that's what entrepreneurship does. It helps you really focus on the things that are important. For
Mhm.
me, time freedom and not being chained by time is something that's really important for me. Then it allows me to do the things I really want to do, not just the things that I have to do. So for me, spending time with family, shopping, just relaxing, doing nothing, it allows me to do that to some capacity. Of course, that's not all I'm doing. I'm working really, really hard. I just told you before we jumped on that was on one meeting, and I'm upping up
Mhm,
to another one right after this. So but I get to choose that, right? I
mhm,
get to make those decisions. So I think that's a big piece that entrepreneurship has helped me discover. Another thing is the fact that I am, to a very large extent, in control of sort of the outcome, not necessarily in control of the outcome, but the steps that I need to take, right? So if I see a specific result, whether I like it or not, I have a huge part to play in it being that way. And
mhm,
if I see that outcome and I'm not a fan of it or whatever, I know that I can step back and say, okay, these are the changes I need to make to see the end results that I want to do. And
mhm.
being an entrepreneur is what has allowed me to do that. Previously, not really having a control of anything or any big decisions, really tended for me personally to be very frustrating. So I would say that's a big one, and also just being really creative with what it is. What can I do with this thing? Okay, what else can I do? And
Mhm.
just evolving in a way that feels really true to myself. It's beautiful.
It's amazing. And then definitely heavy I know you mentioned shopping. I'm a shopaholic. I love shopping.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Between sleep and shopping, those are my 2 big
Oh my
things.
God. Okay, so we're done. We're like a match made in heaven. Let's go. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so now I wanna kind of get into your business school experience. So how did you find out about the business school? What was like, "Okay, I have to join the business school." How has your business been since you've joined the business school? The nitty-gritty of all of that.
Yeah, no, I would say there was no business before the business school. There was just an idea and
Mhm,
the restlessness I had. And I remember I think it was a friend of mine who was like, "Oh, I have this friend. Her name is Neka Onechukwu." And I started following her on Facebook. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, this woman has quite a just an interesting approach to to medicine." That's just what
yeah.
I thought. I was like, when was that? I was like 2021. So that was
Mm.
it's been we've been in the I've been in the business for, I think this is my fourth year now.
Oh, that's good.
And so um so I didn't follow her for too long to know, okay, I think I need to be part of this community. So I didn't need any convincing. I
Mhm,
wasn't like, I know a lot of people where like maybe, many of us, right, where some of my colleagues were like, oh, I watched the podcast for a while. Maybe I read the book. I was just like, I want in. I want whatever
mhm.
Kool-Aid she's
Whatever she
drinking. I
has.
want it. I want it. So that was because I had no idea what to do with this discomfort and restlessness I had.
Mhm,
I didn't know what to do with it. So yeah, because there was just nothing. It wasn't like I was a speaker already, or I didn't even have, I think I had a very personal Instagram account. That was it. So yeah, so it literally has been the school has been instrumental in shaping and helping me create something out of what was just a feeling and a resistance.
mhm.
Everything, yeah. And
That's
now, yeah, now we have a practice. We have two businesses,
oh,
right?
that's
So I have my speaking and coaching, and then I have my clinical practice. So that's all started with nothing, honestly, nothing
yeah.
more than a dream. Hmm.
And then so the business school turned it into a
Yeah,
reality. That's amazing.
absolutely.
That's amazing. Okay, and then so what has been the most tangible win since you've joined the business school? I know it wasn't really much of a it was more of an idea before you started, then it became a business afterwards. But what's the most tangible win that you've seen?
I mean, there's so many. I think
What's your
um,
favorite one?
a brick and mortar. Like I have a space. This is my office. So I think it doesn't get as tangible as that, right?
Yeah.
I actually have a practice with my own office space. Like literally, you could come in and touch the walls. That's
Mhm.
pretty tangible. And then also just now this is something that's, slowly, it hasn't yet 100%, but slowly and very, very rapidly replacing my income, right? It's which is great. I now have team members. I have people that I pay to support the practice. Um, I have time able to take time off because of the revenue that we are able to generate to take time off on vacation and again time to spend time with my family. um yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. There's so many, but I think the most tangible is like you can get up and not just see a business online, which is,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you can actually come in and get cared for um by the team in my practice and myself.
That's good. Okay, and then so since joining the business school, what has been your favorite part of it?
I would say the favorite part is the community, hands down, right?
Mhm,
So Wednesdays are our favorite. That's when everybody gets together and we have life coaching and hearing everybody's wins, seeing my colleagues, seeing their own evolution, right? Knowing that we're doing life together.
mhm,
That's my favorite. Seeing people start from, I don't even know what I'm doing, to like, oh yeah, I made my first seven figure or first six figures or whatever. So and so that piece, and then also having a community of people that get it, right? It's not because there are people, when I said I was starting this business, it almost felt like, what are you looking for again? Like, you're already super successful, but people get it. They get it when you say, okay, I want more. So I think that community has been really, really hands down my favorite.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so you've been in the school for about 4 years. I think you joined in, 2021 is what you said. So with the community, right, how has you've been in it for 4 years, so how has the community helped with your business growth, personal growth, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, I think in multiple ways. So, the support and the accountability is one because um, I can very, very easily, and I always say this, I can easily hide in public. Like, you will not tell that I'm hiding or I'm playing small. And you don't get to do that because now you have people who are moving, who are changing lives, and it just kind of inspires you to keep going.
Mhm,
Um, so I think that's been really good in helping me achieve my goals. There are things that I never imagined I would be able to achieve, but I've been able to do that because of the support, and the inspiration. Like, if I see one of my colleagues, doing such incredible things, I'm inspired. I'm inspired by them. I'm motivated. Of course, I'm happy for them. And I think I would call it this incredibly healthy competition, right? It's like,
mhm.
oh my goodness, you did what? Okay, let me see what happens when I put those things into action, right? And
Mhm.
I think that's been huge in helping me move the needle forward in so many ways.
It's good. Okay, and
Yeah.
so now for my one of my favorite questions, because I'm all about the merch store. That's my little piece of MD that I run. So what is your favorite piece of merch and then why?
So I loved I have a sweatshirt because I love sweatshirts. That's
Yes,
it.
me
So
too.
that's why. And then I have the one I got, I'm in my office now. I'm like, oh man, I would have loved to wear it, but it's kind of hot. So
Mm,
probably not sweatshirt weather. It's the I think it's one that says there's no imagination police.
no
I love that.
imagination police. Okay.
Yes, I love that so much because there really is not, like, there's no, dreams are free, they don't cost anything. So let
Mhm.
me dream my dream and hopefully slowly move towards accomplishing them, or quickly too. So I love that. So that's my favorite.
Your favorite, okay. And, so you can scan the QR code below for that one. The sweater, I don't have the QR code for the sweater, so you'd have to go to the website to find it, but I do have the shirt right here. So, my take, right, on the I think I did that, once by myself, but there is no one stopping you from dreaming big. You're allowed to dream as big as you want. I think my dad says it, that the sky is the limit, and you dream big. My only thing for people who dream big is just write it down and then make sure you put that dream into reality. Because why dream big if you don't actually, pursue the dream? But if you're comfortable with sharing, what has been your, there's quote unquote no imagination police type of story, right? Where, you there was something you wanted to do, and then you kind of just heard Dr. Una's voice in your head. There's no imagination police, just dream big. So if you don't mind sharing that story.
um Let's see. I think everything, honestly, starting on this journey. I mean, because what I didn't think, I really didn't start off thinking I was gonna own a practice or start a practice
Hmm.
because I just didn't think I had the tools or the ability to do that. I'm like, no, that's just not really for me. And I see, or even in the business school, I see all these people, other people. I'm like, maybe that's them. I think I'm just gonna be a speaker and try to get speaking gigs. But I think one of the things that was very frustrating was, okay, well, sometimes give you, it's like you lead a very thirsty individual to water, and you're like, okay, drink, and you're not giving them a cup or any way to kind of scoop the water, right? So for me, it was like I tell people, and they're like, okay, now I know my sleep is broken in that sense and it needs fixing. And then I go to my doctor, and the doctor is like, well, take some sleep medications instead. And nobody's really paying attention. And so I think that really started to prompt me to say, okay, why not? Why can I not start a practice and help these people that are, at least now they're super aware about why sleep is so important, but they don't know what to do and how to do it, especially with specifics to like a medical sleep issue. So um the ability to create a business where I am still able to be a speaker. Because I also didn't want a practice where I was going to just be in clinic 5 days a week and then
Hmm.
I don't get to speak. I love to talk to people and see that transformation in a big room. Oh, I could actually have both. So that's from being able to imagine creating a business to be able to do both, build my brand, keep being a speaker and speak on multiple platforms, but still see patients in clinic. I think um, that's definitely something that came from the place of questioning and saying, but why not? How about I um let myself go there in my mind and then start to take steps towards accomplishing it.
That's good. And then, so I know, the business school was kind of, what brought the idea into reality. So, what would you have to say to someone who's struggling with joining the business school? Like they have their doubts, or going with our with our dreaming big. That they have the big dream of joining the business school, but they're like, I don't know if I can do that just yet. What do you have to say to that person?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I would say is, and I say this all the time, so not to sound like a broken record, but you also have to, even beyond dreaming big, right? Like the business school might not necessarily be your big dream, right? What's your big dream? Your big dream might be, I want to start a practice. I want to start a business. I want to do more. I want to explore the other aspects of me as a physician. So let that go all the way down there to say, why do I want to achieve that? I want to achieve time freedom. I want to help more people in a very unique way. So you can go down and then trace it back to say, okay, well, these are the tools that I'm going to need. And then let that be the sort of the fuel that lights your fire to make that decision to join the business school. And then the other thing I would say is also dream far, right? Like, okay, if I keep dreaming and I have this big ambition and I do nothing about it, what is that dream going to look like in 6 months from now? Is it going to be the same? Am I going to be at the same spot? What's that going to look like a year from now? If I
Hmm.
keep doing the exact same thing I'm doing, but expecting these phenomenal results, like, will that 1 year older version of me be like, oh my goodness, the best decision you made in your life was to just be where you are? Or would that 1 year version be like, oh man, we could have moved a lot farther? And then you can make your decision based on that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. Thank you for that. That's amazing. Or the another question you could ask. I think Dr. Inna says it a lot. Would your 90-year-old self be great? Would your 90-year-old self be
Mm,
grateful? Would they thank you for the decision that you made? Okay. And then so
mm.
my next question to you is, where can people find you? They want to get to know more about you, and then the sleep medicine. Where can they find you? Where can they contact you?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm based in Pennsylvania, but I'm licensed in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and California. So for my clinical practice, the restful sleep place, if you have sleep issues, either as an individual yourself or kids that have sleep issues, you could give us a call or go to our website. It's therestfulsleepplace.com. So that's really the number one place. And then If you're interested in exploring my speaking services, you can also visit restfulsleepmd.com. It's literally the same website, but there's just a tab that says speaking. Like, let me make your life simple for you. It's all there. Um, and then you can find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Restful Sleep MD. I'm on Facebook as well at Restful Sleep MD. So you can learn about some of my work and at least start to get some tips to optimize your sleep. And then if you're ready to take it a step or two further, then you could reach out to find out how we could work together.
Okay, and then I have a bonus question for you because we hear sleep doctor, and I love that. So, I personally don't have any issues with sleep. I love sleep. So I think to a point where it kind of became a problem, where my mom and dad were like, "If you keep sleeping as much as you do, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna be broke." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I've toned it down a lot, but I still make sure I go to sleep on time. I don't play games around with my sleep. So, what do you have to say to, let's say, a teen, or just anybody that's watching? What do they need to know about sleep? What about sleep is important? What would you advise them to do? Things like that.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I think I love because I work with a lot of teens when it comes up. I've been called a sleep teen whisperer, which I thought was the most amazing compliment anybody could give me. And I think you're right. Like, you want to start to optimize and build the right sleep habits early. Those habits that you build now are really going to help sustain you. And similar to making a business decision, you got to figure out your why. Like, are you okay waking up exhausted, rolling out of bed at 2 p.m. and just you can't tell your left from your right? Or do you want to be the best version of yourself where you are, if you play basketball, you're the best at it. If you're in school, you're aiming for A's, you're the best at it. Like, you want your mood to be better, really fixing on what you're trying to achieve. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain muscle? All of that is important when it comes to sleep. And then work towards that goal one night at a time. And so start with consistency. You could say, okay, you know what? I am, 17, and a 17-year-old needs anywhere from usually what we'll say is 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So right now I'm getting 6 hours. So I'm going to increase gradually till I get to my goal. I'm going to stick to it and lock it in and make it a non-negotiable. So start with that. Start with making sleep a non-negotiable. Start with that consistent sleep time and wake up time. And I'm not going to tell you to put not play video games or scroll on your phone, but just kind of pay attention to how you're feeling in the morning. If you spend the entire, most of the night on TikTok, right? You just might not feel as great. And so you can now make informed decisions as to, okay, what do I need to do to ensure that I'm setting boundaries around that? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So this is definitely one of those interviews that I'm gonna send to all of my teenager friends that I know do not go to bed on time. Because I asked one of them, and she was like, I texted her, I think, and it was at 5, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I just woke up." What do you mean you just woke up? What do you mean you just woke up? What does that mean? But she was like, "Oh yeah, I stayed up till like 4 a.m. doing
I
what?"
know, I know, I
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
but
that's really important. That consistent. Just try. Let's keep it simple, right? I'm not going to give you 20 rules, but just set up a consistent wake up time to start, a
mhm,
consistent bedtime, and then set boundaries around that. What boundaries will look like will be maybe putting your phone away 30 minutes earlier, maybe telling your friends you'll catch up with them in the morning, those
mhm.
kind of things. You can now build the right boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's my advice to all of you teenagers that are watching. Go to bed on time. So thank you so much for this, Dr. Funke. I had so much fun. This was absolutely amazing. Hearing your story, getting the advice on sleep, how you joined the business school and all of those things. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely, Cheta. Thank you so much. Thanks for what you do. You're
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And so I will see you guys on our next live.